going so far. We launched November 17th, and so far we've gotten 707 testimonials and 311 surveys. And I have Susan out of Sunstar that cannot hear me, but Sharon can hear me and Risa can hear me, so I'm going to guess that I'm doing okay. So let me send Susan a note real quick.
First, you came in kind of low volume, Carrie, but now you're good.
Now I'm good. Okay. She's got it now. All right. Technology is a grand thing when it works. So, as I was saying, with 707 testimonials, company-wide, 311 surveys. Surveys are just like testimonials, but without words. So it's just the star rating. So that is how we're doing so far since we launched in November. We do have the automation in Michigan and Ohio with .loop. So a property gets marked as closed in .loop. That evening, it'll go out in a survey request to the client, as long as we have a valid email address, of course. And then it'll go out to them a total of 3 times. If they take the survey, it will not send it the second or third time. In Florida, we are seeing some automation occurring with the app files. It's just not quite, I don't believe, 100% operating in Florida. So between Kelly Ewing and myself, we are working on it. So more to come on that, but we are seeing some going out in Florida. And they were a little short-staffed over there at Testimonial Tree around the holidays and everything, but they're back at it, so we're getting more answers. And so hopefully we'll have that up and running seamlessly soon. The agents are able, Michigan, Ohio, Florida, to be able to do this manually. So they can jump in today if they want to and request surveys from anybody, clients, family, anybody, via email or text. That's a great question. I'll get to that in just one second. So even if the automation isn't working, or even if they opted out of the automation, which we did have some agents opt out of it, they can still manually use the Testimonial Tree product. We've had a lot of questions about how much it costs for the agent, and that answer is $0. This is not a paid service for the agent. It's a paid service for the Schmidts, but the Schmidt family of companies is taking the pay for this. So the agents, it's no cost to them. They can choose to use it if they'd like to, and of course they don't have to if they don't want to, just like the rest of our technologies. So that is really good for the agents. And they can also copy and paste other surveys into the system. So if they have a survey on Zap or Zillow and they want to bulk up their Testimonial Tree surveys, there is a copy and paste feature. There is no upload feature at this point, so they do have to do it individually, manually, one-on-one. So that's how that is working there. If your agent does decide that they do want to opt out of the automation and they don't want their consumers to get these survey requests automatically when it goes to closed in .loop or app files, they just have to notify the help desk, and then the help desk will remove them from the automated survey system. And the way that they do that is they click the little question mark in the lower left corner and click on tickets, and they just fill this form out here, letting them know in the body to please opt me out, my name and my email address. Click submit, and then the team over at Testimonial Tree will opt out all of the closings for that agent. So that is how the agent can opt out. Obviously, if they're struggling with getting into the system, they can always reach out to me or to yourselves, and we can help them with that opt out as well. The good news is our single sign-on is fixed. It was down starting Friday. It came back up overnight. So if you guys had agents saying they couldn't get in, that is in fact true. It was down. Moxie had changed something and didn't notify them, but we are back up and running. So the easiest way for your agents to access Testimonial Tree, whether they're Coldwell Banker or Sotheby's or Century 21, is to go into Moxie, into the hub, and click on the single sign-on right here, Testimonial Tree. Now we need to have some email addresses line up. So your agent's Moxie email address needs to be the same email address that they are using in .loop and app files. So whether it's one of their own gmail.coms, whether it's CB Great Lakes, CB Paradise, whatever it might be, they do have to match in order for the system to talk for that automation. Again, even if it's not talking and we can get that fixed for them, we just need to know about it, they can still use the product by sending those surveys out manually. So the hub is back up and running, and this is where they will want to click to be able to log in. Upon logging in, they will see their dashboard. They'll see any of their survey testimonials and any of their surveys. Anybody with an office level should see your office's number of testimonials and surveys. So if you're not seeing what you think you need to be seeing, feel free to reach out and let me know, and we can work with the support team to get you the security level that you need. You can go into view all as well, so that it takes you into all of your testimonials here. And then from here, you can do certain things. You can share the testimonial. You can edit the testimonial. Again, agents can't edit the testimonials, but we can as staff. So if there's a spelling error, if there is some sort of identifying information that the consumer typed in that box, we can correct that for the agent cannot. The testimonial marketing, and great job, some of you have been seeing these on Facebook. It's super exciting. Of course, we know our marketing group can do customized survey and testimonial postings, but Testimonial Tree does that for our agents. They are able to do that right from here. And if they're more of a hands-on kind of agent and they want something to print for perhaps a listing presentation or something, they can print the testimonial from here as well. So again, that's by going into the dashboard. Now the question was, how do we know if the email was sent out? From over to the left, you want to go to Reports, Testimonial Request Sent, and this will tell you. So if it's by email, that should be that would be either a manual email that the agent sent or something from one of our automations. If it's a text, it's something that the agent themselves had sent. You can export this list to a CSV file. You can change your date range. So if you want to check, maybe you want to check every Friday to see which testimony requests went out that week, you can do that and then download it into a CSV file. But again, that's under Reports and Testimonial Requests Sent. And that's how you can see. It gives you the email address or the if it was SMS, client name, the status, the date and time, the agent, and if it was captured. Now, captured means did they reply with a testimony? If the answer is no, they did not. If the answer is yes, they did. So going back to the dashboard, let me see. I think I had one more question. Does the email look like it came from the agent or from Testimonial Tree? Great question, Julie. This was brought to my attention by Sherry. So the email address is info@testimonialtree.com, but the from person in the email does say the agent's name. So it does say request from John Doe, the agent, and then it does say info@testimonialtree.com. I was told just today by Testimonial Tree that they are working on other options so that the email address in the from is the actual agent. But as of today, that is not happening. So the agent's name does appear, but it does the actual email address itself is info@testimonialtree.com. Now, an agent can get their testimonial link if they want. They can request testimonies on their websites, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then they could send that out themselves if they wanted to in an email or in a text if they chose to. So great question, Julie. Question from Patty in the UP. Can the ASC copy and paste Zillow refuse to bring into Testimonial Tree for the agents? Yes, you should be able to do that, Patty. If you couldn't get it to work, we may have to offline that. But the easiest way you're going to want to do that is to go to management. And if you don't have management, let me know. I do have to get it added from the Testimonial Tree staff. So go to management and users. The hidden filters that is oh so hard to find is over here to the right. So click on filters, type in the agent's name, and then you'll see the agent comes up. From here, you can click the little, I guess it's an arrow and almost like a door, and log in as that particular agent. And then once you log into there, you can go to Testimonials, Add Testimonial, and then copy and paste that into here. And then, of course, always click
Banker Sunstar Realty. This is Susan. How may I help you?
Oh, let me see. There we go. So that is how you can add it for an agent. Now, again, if you're not seeing some of those things like management, or if it's not letting you do it, go ahead and send me a note offline, and then we'll be sure that we can get that corrected with the Testimonial Tree support team. I'm going to log back in as myself. Good. So if you go into Testimonies and Collect, this will allow your agent to be able to send an email or send a text request, and then it gives them their own URL as well. So your agents can do things like put that into the subject line of their email to request reviews if they'd like to. They can put it on their websites, which, like I said, we will talk about that in a minute. And they can use it in other marketing. They can put it into like a Moxie newsletter or something like that. So they are able to have that option. And again, that's under Testimonials and Collect. It's also kind of that green button at the bottom as well. So we have in every region added the testimonies for company-wide to our Moxie sites, CB Great Lakes, CB Schmidt, Ohio, and CB Florida Homes. So every one of those will have a testimonial menu on it, and then it will load the testimonies from the entire company. It's not going to be just the testimonials for that region. It is broader based, but that's okay because the more content we have on our websites, the better. So this particular one is CB Great Lakes, but if you go to Ohio, it's going to eventually load, have the same thing. So there's different widgets that your agents can use in Moxie. This particular one I like because it lets somebody new give a rating right here. So they are able to do that right here from this widget. And again, we're on the company level, but when your agent has it on their websites, then of course the review will be for them. It'll load onto theirs. So back into Testimonial Tree. We were in Testimonies a second ago to get that collection link, but we want to go to Widgets. And we want to go to Manage Widgets. Easy for me to say, right? So you won't have quite this many options. I was in here messing around playing with some options, so I have more than what you guys have. But this is where your agents can change the look of the widget if they want to. So for example, let's go back to our live site. I just messed that up. Let's go back to our live site. We'll just pick Michigan since it's where I'm currently sitting here freezing. So this looks like this. It has the rating at the top. It has the blocks with the quotations in it. So if we come over to Testimonial Tree, again, we're in Widgets, Moxie Widget. If we go to Edit right here, which is the pad of paper with the pencil, you and your agents have all of these options for that widget. You can see this is the particular one I have selected, Social 2, but if we change that, and let's just say we go to Columns here, Columns 1, so we're just going to choose and continue. And then we want to scroll to the bottom and click continue. And then finish. We're going to go back to our live site and hit refresh. And that did not work at all. Well, you can see it changed it, and it changed it automatically, but it did not change it in a format in which we like. So let's go back and we will switch that back. Originally was Social 2. So choose and continue. Again, scroll to the bottom, continue, finish, go back to the live site, refresh again, and it is now working. So I know what I'll be doing after this call. I will be getting with the help desk and see why that did not work. There are other types of widgets to go back here into Edit. There is a Rotator, so your agents can put this on their homepage if they would like to, so that it spins through their testimonials right on the homepage of their Moxie site. So all of these options, obviously the column 1 is not working, note to self, but there are these options in here that your agents can choose for that widget. So to be able to get it into the menu up here, it's a fairly easy process. So we'll go into Moxie. We had talked about the hub and how Testimonial Tree is on there, but we're going to click on My Website. And I have a feeling that's going to take a second to load. So from here, we want to click on Site Pages, Add New. Your Add New box comes up. So if you're in Site Pages and you don't click on it from right there, at the very top you can click Add New. And then when that drop down occurs, it's this one right here, Testimonial Tree Page. Select that and hit Submit. And then as long as this email address is the same email address that matches their testimonial tree, and it should because Testimonial Tree is fed from Moxie, the testimonies from that will come over into that widget for the agent. The only time it may be different is if you're working with like a team. So maybe your team has 2 different Moxie sites, but all the testimonial trees run through one because all the closings go from dot, whatever that situation might be. That's when you may want to update that email address. Once you have this done, you click publish. We'll go back to your site pages. And then anytime you add the new one, it's going to put it down right here. So you can see 119 at 12, that must be West Coast, or yeah, the time's not quite right, but the date is. So you can see it put it here. Anything right here is going to be correlating to a menu item up here. So if I go back to my website and I click publish and I refresh over here, it did not work. One moment. I am on the, I'm sorry, I'm in my Moxie site, not on the CB Great Lakes Moxie site. So let's go to visit site here. I had too many sites going. And then my testimonial widget is here. Now mine should be blank because I don't have any of my own personal. So if I did, they would show up here. So again, this one is set up for the entire company, but because I just added that widget to my particular site, it's blank, but you can see it shows it as a menu item. Now, if your agent wants to put the testimonials under, say, the About Me tab, what they want to do back over on the Moxie site is they want to, I'm just deleting one real quick. They want to take this and drop and drag it. So if they want to put it up here, and I see I have a hidden one, lots of beta testing going on. So if they have it under here, and again, I just lost it. There we go. It's going to be a subset menu to the About Me menu. So anything left aligned is a menu at the top of the website. Anything underneath that is a sub menu. So if we click publish on there, go back to our site and refresh it, you'll see that testimonials moved to over here under the About Me tab. So your agents can have it up here if they choose to, or they can choose to put it under a subset if they would like. So again, to walk through that again, in Testimonial Tree, under the widgets and manage widgets, under Moxie widget, they can change what the look is right there by going into edit. And then once they have it looking like they want to, they come over into websites, click add new, go down to, oh, and I can't add it again because it's already on there. So let me just back up a second and delete that. Add new, testimonial tree page, click submit. Make sure that the email address is aligned. They can change it too. If they want to update this to be like what people say about me or some better other catchier marketing thing, they can change the name of that as well. So now if we go back to site pages, it changed it from testimonials as the subject, but you can see it's still the testimonial tree page. And then if we visit the site, that will be the verbiage that shows up there. So that's how your agents can add all of their testimonies to their Moxie websites. And it is important as we are just gaining momentum on this product, if they don't want to attach it until they have obviously more than one testimonial, that's when the copy and paste will be important, whether they're copying it from their Google site, from their Zap site, or from a Zillow site. They can bulk up their testimonies by manually adding those, and then moving forward, of course, they can request new testimonies directly from Testimonial Tree. We do have a Testimonial Tree Schmidt Resources Square. Of course we do. We have squares for everything, right? So it is underneath the technology square. So here's our brand new Home Hub square that's right there. But if you find the little hands holding the digital house, and you're going to see a testimonial tree square right here. The login is here. So if your agents want their direct login without going to the single sign-on, they simply have to go to the login found from here, click forgot password, put in their email address that they use in Moxie, and the system will send them a password reset. We do have our trainings right here, along with some amazing Testimonial Tree job aids that are all PDFs, and it was all provided to us from Testimonial Tree. So again, schmidtresources.com, technology square, and then go into the testimonial tree square, and this information is found in here. Yes, Becky, I just saw your note, and I will make sure that I take care of that, and I will offline a note to you once that's fixed. And like I said, when you're in testimonial tree,
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. When you're in here and you're not seeing things like management or your office's users, please just reach out and let me know, and we will get that corrected for you. Good. Okay. What other questions do you guys have for me today? Again, we're learning a lot with this. We're still working on the API. It's a free platform for your agents, whether they want to use automation or not. They can do it manually if they choose to. And the best thing your agents can do is just jump in and start using it. They can email or text survey requests. Yes, go ahead.
Tom here. Where in app files does, I guess, the email address for like the customer gets sent over to testimonial tree? Is that in the master, like seller and master buyer side?
I'm not sure if Kathy Kripp or maybe Sharon is on the phone, or Kate down in Florida. I'm not as familiar with app files. I do know it doesn't quite work the same way Dotloop does, because it essentially at the end of every night they FTP a file over to testimonial tree. But I believe the seller and buyer information is coming from app files when first entered by the agent.
Yeah, what they'll need to do, Tom, is make sure that their email address for their customer is in the file information tab. That's where it's going to pull the email address from to send the testimonial.
On the master on the right side, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yay, thank you, Kathy. You're our app file expert. I appreciate it.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so may I ask? Well, I'll talk to Kathy about it. Not a problem.
Okay.
But there is a question that I have. So you said we can copy and paste. If we want to take some of the testimonials, the really good testimonials that we've gotten on paper, can we just, as an ASC, can we just go ahead and type those up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome.
And we did have a glitch also found by Sherry and Cascade that the first and last names of the consumer was showing up by accident, but we have corrected that. So same concept, if you're typing it in, first name, last name, it will make sure that last name doesn't show up anymore. So this has been corrected now. You can see it's just first name, last initial. So if you're typing them in, just make sure that that name goes in the exact spots that the form asks for, and it'll be good to go.
Harry, if the agent is manually entering in a testimonial and it posts, and then they see that they made a mistake typing it in, can they go back in on the ones that they manually put in to make the correction?
Excellent question, Tom. I'm not sure I can confirm that. I'm going to have to probably find out. Let me find out for sure, and I'll send a note out, because I'm not real sure. You would think in theory you could, but I know that they cannot edit anything that was sent through via the automated email. So I'll find out and get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, good question. What else? I don't see anything else in the chat box. All right, well, if that's all you guys had for me today, I will get an answer back to you on that one, Tom. I appreciate everybody's time. Like I said, if you're not seeing something you need to see, reach out and let me know, and we'll work with the help desk to get you the access you need. And I really appreciate all your guys' help getting our agents into this fantastic new product. Thanks, you guys, so much. Have a great rest of your week.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
Bye now.
Hi, Carrie. Thanks.
I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was there another question? Oh, guess not. All right. Thanks, everyone.